What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel where we talk about nothing and do nothing but paint, as I try to walk you guys through the processes of doing things correctly, anything it does with paint. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe, because we do nothing but paint here. So you guys are probably wondering where the PS5 videos have been, and you're probably thinking this video is going to be a continuation of that video. But we have been throwing a curveball here a little bit, so this is not going to be anything to do with the PS5 covers and continuing on with the artwork on those. I am going to show you guys real quickly though right now where we're at on those covers. So we got these scuffed, cleaned, sealed, clear coated, couple coats of clear, and what I've pretty much done is red Scotch-Brighted the crap out of them once it got baked and dry, and then I took 600 on my DA and I smoothed everything out. They are really smooth. There's no dirt or anything in them, and that's exactly what you want when you're prepping something for anything going on top of it. More paint, artwork, airbrushing, whatever it is, graphics, more paint, whatever. You want to make sure they're really nice and smooth before you put anything over, because it's obviously going to show through it if you have dirt nibs, anything, bad body work, anything like that. So we got those prepped and cleaned for the artwork, but like I said, this video is not for that. We're going to put that on hold for a little bit because I got a call. What happens in this industry when you're doing a lot of custom stuff, people call you, they want things done. So this one is for my father-in-law. Oh, and one more thing real quick. So today's Sunday. Yesterday was the event for the charity. All the stuff that we did turned out really nice. Everybody was thrilled, and it raised a lot of money. So if you're watching, thank you for coming out to that and bidding. The one thing that we do have to do that I'm probably gonna maybe include in this video, or maybe make a separate one, it's gonna be really short, but tank. The tank that we painted and airbrushed and we worked on, everybody signed it. You can see everybody got the blue Sharpie. I am the only one that has not signed this yet. So I'm gonna pick a spot before I clear coat it, and I'm gonna, sign it and put my year. Like we got people from 82 on here. I think the oldest one was like a 76 maybe, or I can't remember where it's at, but it's in the set. Somebody's great-grandma actually was there, and they actually signed it, and I think they were the ones that graduated before everybody else did. So that's really cool. But I'm probably gonna throw that in here. But I'm gonna sign it, and I'm gonna clear coat it, so it'll probably be in this video somewhere. But other than that, we'll give it back to the bidder that won. So, but in this video, it's my father-in-law's car. He actually got in a little wreck. It's a project that him and I did probably a good 5 years ago. He had a body kit he wanted on that he had stored. A lot of body shops wouldn't touch it. I looked at it with him. I said, it's gonna be a lot of work, but it can get done. So we painted it. We actually did a lot of body work to it, cutting the splicing to get the fit right. And then I took it and I painted it, and he's been driving it. It's his driver. It's not a show car by any means, so don't get that thinking this is going to be a show car thing. But it is a really nice driver, and that's what he wanted, because he does drive this thing a lot. It's pretty much his only car to drive, and then he's got a different car in the winter that he drives. So he takes this thing everywhere. So he got a little bit of accident and I just went and picked it up and just got back right now. So I'm gonna pull this thing in, we're gonna go over it, and I'm gonna tell you guys what we're gonna do this thing. So what we got here is a 05 Eclipse GT 5-speed, the top of the line on this year. So like I said earlier, that he had this body kit for the longest time stored in their attic, but a body shop would not touch it. And then he just asked me one day if, if I'd like to see it, if it was doable, if it was possible, because I guess everybody else told him it wouldn't fit, it was going to be a lot of work, and it was going to take a lot of money. I looked at it, pretty much said the same exact thing, but I knew that we could get it done, and he really wanted it done. So we took 1 year, one whole summer out of a year, and I went over there for every weekend pretty much, and helped him get this thing to fit on here. And it took all summer. So the bumper, we cut and trimmed and everything, and got it to fit right. The side skirts fit really bad. So pretty much the only option we had from there was to mold them onto the car. So we molded them onto the car. Everything's molded into the door jamb and everything done correctly. And we did this pretty much I think it's been probably almost 5 years ago that we did this. So it still looks really, really good for being driven pretty much every day, no matter if it's, storming out, raining, whatever. But the whole car, I did paint it all. And the good thing about this is I used House of Color when I painted this car. It was just, everything was House of Color from the ground up. So since we got a mixing bank now, where it's going to be, we got everything in stock pretty much to do this. I just got to buy some more clear, because I don't think I'll have enough clear to do this. But as you can see, he pretty much hit something right here, he said, in the front bumper area, and cracked it. And it's still got a little bit right here, but he went ahead and did all this. I haven't touched it yet. I just pretty much got back from getting it. So he's done all this already, and some of it's really good and some of it needs some work, especially up here where he's added. He went ahead and said he tried to fix anything that was cracking out from driving it and things, little stuff like that. And then he just kind of spot primered in with the spray can primer, which is, that's one thing about me is anything that comes out of a spray can, I hate using it, because I don't know if it's going to stick well, if it's going to react to the paint. You kind of want to just stay in that realm of using everything that you need to with one paint company. That way you don't have any issues down the road, because I don't know if this will actually, when I start spraying primer and sealer over this, if this spray can primer is going to, adhere to everything correctly. So, but one thing he did good, in some areas was sanded down really nice. So he's got like this, he's tried to fix some of this over here where it's cracked out and things like that. It's just the nature of the beast. When you have a fiberglass, anything on your car, especially front bumper, you're going to get rock chips, you're going to get dings, you're going to get stuff like that that's going to destroy fiberglass. And it's going to start cracking out because it's going to start bending and stressing and things like that. So it's the nature of the beast. So we're going to go through here. I'm going to sand pretty much all this stuff back off, because like I said, I don't know if it's going to stick to the stuff that I have. And honestly, it needs some more love than just sanding it down and primering it. So there's some things we're going to be doing more than just, painting, getting it, ready for paint, because I don't want to just primer over it and paint it and send it back to him, because it's not going to look right. You're going to see all these lines and body work and stuff like that. So I usually don't do body work, but for family members, and since I've already painted the car, it was me that painted it last time. I'll make small exceptions if it's nothing major. But, luckily he didn't crack this bumper out totally to where it destroyed it and he had to get a new one, because we put a lot of time into this bumper just to get it to looking decent. Obviously it's not perfect, it's not a show car like I said, but we cut it and we spliced it in some areas, and we molded new fiberglass into it. It was just really destroyed. And when it got done the first time, it looked really, really good. So we're going to get it back to that state. So that's what we're working with. And the hood is a carbon hood. He's had from the stress of the latch right here, it was cracking out on him. So he's kind of went ahead and tried to repair this front end on this. But as you can tell, it is a carbon hood. And when I painted it the first time, I pretty much blended the black. You can tell where the black goes in the blends. And I blended it all the way into the middle. That way the carbon showed, but yet it wasn't too overpowering. It wasn't just solid black because he wanted some of that carbon to show. Then I re-cleared the whole hood for him. And another cool thing about this paint job, you probably don't see it on camera, but maybe you saw it when it was outside, but this is just straight black from House of Color, jet black. But I did a little bit of something special when I painted it the first time. When I painted it the first time, I put, obviously I put the sealer and I put the black down. And when I went to clear it, I took some of that black and I threw it in the first coat of clear. And what that does is it makes it really, really, really deep black. It kind of gives it almost like a chromish look to it when it's out in the sun, reflecting off everything, because it just gives it that more depth. It's pretty much using like a candy black over it. I just put it in the clear, and then I put 2 more coats of clear coat on top of it. And I honestly haven't even buffed this car, and I think there was 1 sag on the driver's side that I had to get out after it was done. But other than that, the car came out almost spotless. Obviously there's some dirt nibs and things in it still, but we weren't worried about that at the time. Like I said, this is his driver. So when we do this, I'm going to jack it up, get it off the ground. That's one tip for if you guys want to start doing this stuff. For cleanliness, anything you're painting, you want to get it off the ground as high as you can. That way you're not swooping up the dirt underneath of it. You're getting away from all that. So I'm going to jack the front up. He does need this back in a timely manner, so I got to get it done as quick as possible, but still doing it the right way. So I'm going to jack the front up, get it off the ground, pop the headlights out, pop the the bumper marker lights out of it, and but I'm going to leave the bumper on this to get this done, because the way we had to mock this thing up, it's a really pain in the butt to get this to line back up. So I'm going to leave the bumper on it. He was fine with that. And it's going to speed things up a lot more rather than take the bumper off and, do all that stuff and have to fight it, putting it back on and things like that. And getting everything to line up back again. The hood is even kind of tricky where it lines up right here with the gaps. It's really tricky. We had to kind of make our own brackets for it and things like that. So, and then we'll obviously blend the paint. We're pretty much painting the whole front end on it. And then we'll clear with the side skirt issue. With everything being molded, like when I painted the first time, I painted the door jambs and everything inside of it because it's all one piece. Go to the other side and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about here. Everything is one piece inside of here. So it makes it kind of tricky when you're going to repair some of this stuff, because technically if you want to do it specifically right, you need to re-clear all, sand it all down. I got to go back through and re-clear the quarter panel, and do all that stuff. But I usually hate doing this, but since he needs the car back, I'm going to burn it. I'm going to clear coat it, burn it in somewhere where it's the smallest, and that's what you want to do. You want to try to find the smallest area possible. I might even try to go down here. Being black, I can get away with it. But if it was any other color, white you can get away with it, black you can kind of get away with it. But I'm going to burn it in. What that means is pretty much just stopping the clear higher and then melting it in to where it burns itself in. And then when I go and buff it, it pretty much just goes away. So I'm going to do all that. It'll speed things up as well, rather than, like I said, having to take the door back off, prepping the whole, you're using more material too as well, but it's going to save a lot of time just not having to deal with that and just burning right there, because we're going to be doing the hood, both fenders, and the entire bumper. This bumper is huge. The hood's pretty huge as well. So small stuff like, And like I said, he drives this thing every day. It's not a show car. It's not anything crazy, but this is his toy. So we at least want to try to get this done as quickly as possible, but also keep things where the things are going to be right. Don't have any peel and paint. Make sure everything's prepped right and stuff like that. So, but I'm not going to start on this today. I'm going to get everything cleaned up around here, and I'll come back in tomorrow after work. We'll pop everything off of it, get it all pretty much Scotch-Brighted, and then start working on prepping the body work, sanding it back down, making sure anything that's not flat and smooth, get it all flat and smooth, and get it all taped up. And then we're going to start primering it. Probably put a good 3 or 4 coats of primer on this. Since it is fiberglass, it's going to shrink in a lot. It's going to really take in that primer. So I'm going to put some extra coats on it to get everything where I block it back down. You don't have any issues with, you know, it's fiberglass. It's obviously not going to be perfectly straight, but you want to try to get it as straight and get all the waves out of it as well as you can. That's just the demon with fiberglass is it's really hard to get it straight without getting all the waves in it. And being a black car, black, you see everything. So we want to get this thing done back to where it was before. So, but I want to make a short video on this car because this is our next project we're going to be working on here. The PS5 covers, like I said, going to be put on delay just probably for another week. I think I could probably get this thing done in a couple of days if I really work on it. You know, painting, it's not going to be an issue, but you just got to sit, dry, and then buff it if it needs to be buffed, anything like that. So it'll take longer for dry times than it actually will painting it. It won't take long to paint this thing at all. Prepping it, getting the body work right, making sure all the issues that he wanted fixed are fixed, and then going from there. So, but yeah, I'm going to add to the end of this video, like I said, I'm going to clear coat that tank. It'll be at the end of this video. So if I don't say anything else, thanks for watching and stay tuned. We got this. We're in the booth. I've got a couple things I got a lot in here actually. Got a door, a car, as well as a tank that we're going to be clearing. Everything right now, I'll show you guys. All this is ready to be cleared. It's already tacked off. It's ready to go. And then here is the tank over here. So I went ahead and signed it. And then all I did to clean this was to get, because people are eating and getting grease all over it, all I did was take a glass cleaner and I sprayed it down real quick and I wiped it off. I didn't let it sit on there very long, but it did not take the marker off. I've done probably 3 or 4 things with marker on it, and that seems to do the trick to get like greasy handprints off. I haven't tried anything else honestly, so I don't know if wax and grease or anything else would work without removing the marker. So I just kept doing, I just do what works for me. So that's the only thing. So we're gonna get this thing cleared. I'm gonna start with this car here. I'm gonna try to tape all this for you, get video to tape all this. I gotta blend in and burn in right here on the car as well up here. And then we're gonna start rocking the clear. So you gotta do that. And then I'm gonna do it all at once and just get it all done. that is just one coat of clear. Looks like we're not gonna have any issues. So we're gonna let this stuff flash off for pretty much another probably 5 minutes. It's pretty warm today. The booth isn't even on bake, or it's not even on heat at all. So it's pretty warm. It's gonna attack up pretty quick. I could probably go ahead and restart this. I'm gonna make some clear up, do another coat, and then we'll bake everything. But so far so good, no issues. All right, so 2 coats of clear. I'm not gonna be in here long. I don't want to stir up any more dust than I need to, but everything looks really, really well. Pretty much no dirt. Trying my hardest not to get any. So 2 coats, and I did 2 coats on the tank. Any more than 2, pretty much in the auto industry, are wasting materials. Everything came out really, really nice. The ink did go kind of take the clear, the clear kind of grabbed onto some of these signatures that were really, really heavy. Some of them look really cool, like that one. So just keep that in mind if you're going to be doing anything that's ink related and clearing it. You might want to do like a light dusting to pretty much get everything to tack down and stick without, because what clear does when it starts to flow out and it sits there, it starts to flow. So it's pretty much taking all that ink and just kind of spreading it out. So that's my mistake, but that comes with the territory of doing this stuff. You live and you learn. So if you're doing ink, just make sure the first coat, just kind of tack it on there, let it sit for a few minutes, and then you can hammer on your clear. I hammer on the clear from the get-go. So that's why it's doing that. So not a big deal, nothing you can do. It's pretty much is what it is at this point. So we're gonna get out of here. I'm gonna let it sit probably for 5-6 minutes, and then that's pretty much it. So everything came out really, really clean. This booth does pretty well with dirt as far as not stirring any up, but I do clean it a lot. But everything turned out really, really good, really slick. So we're gonna bake it. This is gonna be the end of this video. So we're gonna get knocking on that Eclipse here soon. So that's gonna be the next videos I'm gonna be posting, is work on the Eclipse. So stay tuned, we got content coming.